film sucks. Indie film sucks. It's the Indie Film Sucks podcast. Yeah.
Coming at you from the mean streets of St. Louis from a basement on South Broadway, the Indie Film Sucks podcast. Because indie film is the best time ever.
Best time ever.
No, it's not.
It's a lot of fun.
Can be.
That's why we do it, right?
Yes, sometimes.
Okay. Percentage-wise, fun or not fun? It's more percentage-wise to me fun than it is not fun.
Man, if I had to break it down by percentage.
I hit it hard knocks right off the bat.
Oh no, you gotta
Wow.
you do have to break it out like the writing. You kind of like it's fun, it's free, and it can be frustrating, I'm sure, but it's still venting for you somehow, right?
Well, the writing is probably the hardest part of the whole thing.
Okay.
It is not easy to write a feature-length screenplay.
It's the most important part, if you ask me.
That's why it is for me so difficult, because it is so important, right? You have bad writing, you got a bad movie. There's no way around it.
So percentage-wise,
Percentage-wise,
So I was just going to say,
I don't know how the hell we got there. I don't know.
86 and a half?
90-10.
all right.
I'll give you 90-10. Yeah, 90. That's fair, right? 10%. But the 10% really sucks really freaking bad.
No, I mean 90% sucks.
Oh!
And the 10% is pretty awesome.
You fooled me. Man, I heard another voice at the table.
I know.
Yeah, I've been on a little hiatus.
Yeah. We're Rude here, so this is the Indie Film Sucks podcast where
It
we
is.
talk about the...
Highs, lows, in-betweens.
I remember that.
Of what?
True
independent filmmaking.
True independent filmmaking. I was listening to one of the old podcasts, and Brock goes, he'll never remember that. And I'm like, you're absolutely right. That was a 50-50 guess.
I know.
So my name's Mackie.
Chris Grega.
And I'm Brock Roberts. Nice to be back, guys.
Absolutely.
Nice to have you back.
Yeah. Great to have you back, buddy. What you been up to?
Oh gosh, it's always the same stuff when I go on a hiatus or can't make it in. Like you guys, all three of us work real jobs compared to the fake jobs of making movies. You know.
Right.
True.
No, not really. I mean, making movies is a real job, but you have to be able to pay for those things. So I got to work a lot sometimes, and I juggle stuff, like I always say, and family stuff, and it is a lot of work just to live. Then you add on this podcast and movie making things, and it's not like I'm going around fucking off all the time. I'm really just either working and doing shit with my family or whatever. I don't go golfing like a lot of my friends. You know, their downtime they're golfing. I'm either working or doing this. And I've never golfed in my life, but I guess I'm better at this than I'm golfing.
I, too, am not a golfer, so.
I want to do it.
I am a golfer. It's fun.
Yeah, I
played
want to
golf
do it.
2 weeks ago, so yeah, it's fun. I balance it all, but maybe that's why I'm tired all the time too.
Probably.
So putting a lot on our plates, just like you are, Brock. I mean,
We all are.
I appreciate the honest answer there.
Yeah, no smoke up anybody's ass. It's doing a lot of hard work, and it's sometimes just hard to find time to do podcasts or make movies. So
what's on your mind tonight that you want to talk about?
well,
we'll give you the whole show.
Hey, all right. So I have been gone for a minute or two, and I know you guys had a project that you guys did, the 48-hour film project that's held here in St. Louis in July. It is July. Was it late June or July?
August.
Shit. See,
I don't
even know what year it is anymore, man.
what
Like, so
day it
I'm either
is.
working or drinking. As that I'm playing. And yeah. So you guys had that project. I was unavailable, but I am curious about this 48-hour project. You guys actually just showed me the finished product.
Yeah. What'd you think?
I thought it was pretty damn good, man. So I'll get into that in a second.
Right.
Before we get into the movie itself, which is a 7-minute short, give or take a few here. I know we've talked a little bit about these 48-hour film projects in the past, but I don't know if we, went into them into depth too much, because this is the first one done in a year or two, right?
The last one we did was 2022.
Yeah,
Okay.
2 years
And
ago.
before that was 2019, and before that was 2013.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I had done some in the past, and it's a lot of work crunched into a little bit of time.
Yep.
So how does that get started? I guess you get on you get a roster of your team, however big or small it is. You go to some type of draw. Is that how it works?
Yeah. They whoever hosts it in the city, they have a drawing, and you're given all the the prop, the line of dialogue, the character you got to use, and then your genre, which is random.
Okay.
And we were really worried
Hold on. Yeah. No,
about what genre we were going to get.
we were, Brock. So we had done a little bit about 48, our past experience with 48 on another
So
podcast.
what were the genres first before you
Oh my
tell us
gosh,
ours?
it's all over the board, dude.
Yeah,
Really?
there's
Yeah.
a whole long list of
Coming of age could be one. I mean, they took Western out a couple years ago, so
them.
nobody
Yeah, but
gets
you
that
can get
anymore.
musical, you get dance film,
Okay.
you can
Family
get
film,
horror, comedy,
All right.
anything
sci-fi.
you possibly can think of. And
So it's just up to the draw to what you get.
right.
Yes.
So
Okay.
this particular one, and this is what. Okay, so leading up to this, we're talking over text and phone calls at noon
Sure.
and all this kind of stuff, because that can make or break you. The genre could start your day off miserable or start your day off pretty fun.
Yeah.
Or night. This is a Friday night. It starts Friday night. So we're texting back each, and it's all speculation, right?
Sure.
Just like we do with our feature film, and what about this, and what about this, right? It's the worst enemy of anybody waiting around to do anything.
The angst.
It is the angst.
Sure.
It's one of the filmmakers and a lot of people's just worst. Just because when there's nothing to do, what do? Think
You
about
worry.
scenarios.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, we're screwed if we get this, and we're screwed if this, and I'm just like, shut up! I'm just
Okay, so you get to the
tired of
vi-
talking about it.
So let me ask you. So you go to the venue to get
Correct.
wherever that's at, and I imagine there's a bunch of different groups of people. Is that right?
Everybody has to show up there with at least one representative
Okay.
out of the 30 teams that were in this year's.
Okay, 30. Wow,
St. Louis.
33.
33. Thank you.
that's a big number. Wow, that's really big for St. Louis.
It was
Yeah.
quite proud. It was a Bad Dog Pictures.
Bad Dog was where the kickoff was.
Kickoff was.
I got you.
So they
Okay.
sponsored it. Man, they had food and beer and soda, and drink.
Shit, I could have made time. You tell me this.
Should have.
Yeah, no,
I mean,
they did a hell of a job. I
That's my
think,
wheelhouse, man.
Setting
They
that
did.
up for all the people to get there. People got there early, met a lot of people we knew.
Cool.
So it was pretty cool seeing all the teams,
That is cool, bringing a bunch of people together.
and everybody's in the same boat.
Yeah.
You don't know,
Yes.
except for our team, because we were two of the many people we had on our set. No, we were two of a very small. So people were on the phones going, "All right, are you set up where you're going?" Or, "Hey, if I get this," and man, as soon as they pull their genres, they're like, "Hey, we're doing this," and the team's off and running, right?
So first you get genre, then do they do the props and the?
No, they do all that
dialogue?
stuff first. Everyone at the same
Okay.
time gets the prop and the character and the line of dialogue.
Okay,
Right.
what were those this year?
The prop was a cantaloupe.
Oh wow,
The character was Evan or Eleanor Parkerton, life coach. And the line of dialogue was, "Let's go, I'm in a hurry."
That's it.
okay.
Yeah.
I remember seeing all that in your film.
Yes, we met the qualifications.
Yes.
Unlike
This-
some other
the
years
bare
in the past, we met the bare minimum.
Yeah. Okay.
But they had a big arch in the one part of the big studio that we were there in, and they had all these different colored envelopes. Since there were so many teams, they had purple envelopes, yellow, and another color. So we got in the first draw, first pick. Now, in each 10 or 11 of these envelopes, some of the same genres were the same, but they paired them with a different one.
Okay.
So imagine having family film and musical. That
Mixed
could be
in.
that could be
I
on
got
the
you.
same thing, and you
See.
either got to do a combination of both of those,
Or one or the
or
other.
one or the other.
Okay. That takes a little pressure off.
A little bit.
A little bit of pressure. So I'm first guy, first draw,
All right.
first envelope.
Now, what didn't you want to get?
What femme something?
Film to film,
yeah,
which that has to be a female-led, female-based story, and we had
no females.
no actresses.
Oh,
Yep.
okay.
Like we had almost no actors, to be honest. I mean, it was a tiny
I think I just
cast.
saw Matt that one night and asked him to be in it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we had a very very tight casting.
I was
crew.
expecting it at a 2:00 in the morning phone call from you guys. To be honest.
Well, we did call you. You tried to use your property,
You're right.
Because we were just batting around
Yeah.
stuff, and you're like, "Yeah, as long as you could do this, this, and this, come on out." So
Yeah.
really appreciate that because it gave us other ideas. Thank God we didn't go out there.
Yes.
We wouldn't have turned that
no
movie.
time.
There's
It's-
no way. Exactly.
It's a ways away from where you guys were filming.
So I get it, and I open it up, and Greg is just looking at him. Everybody's staring at you,
Yes.
right? And I was like, family film. And he's just looking like, oh, you shitter, man. And I was like, horror.
Yeah.
Yeah, kick ass. But we had nobody to call or anything like this
No.
because we're the crew.
We're in.
Right.
So we were excited. Right off the bat, I think it took a load of pressure off of us to know at least we know how to write in that category, right?
Sure.
Family film.
That's
I'm
the thing.
saying, right?
Yeah.
So we made a family film.
So
of
we
course.
made a family film. No. So pressure was off. But I think you had to stick around because they did the other stuff later because we didn't leave right after that. We stuck around and waited for everybody else.
So when does the clock start after you get your stuff?
7 o'clock.
That
Yeah.
evening?
7 o'clock on Friday night.
Okay.
And then you have till 7 o'clock on Sunday night to upload your movie. And as long as it starts rendering by 7,
Yeah.
you're in.
And what time was this gathering?
I guess it started at 5:30.
Something
Okay,
like
so
that,
you guys
yeah.
got to work immediately.
Yes.
Yeah, we went and
Yeah.
bought our cantaloupes. Probably drove around longer than we needed to, just spitting out ideas and trying to come up with stuff. And
I can just imagine everybody in St. Louis driving around everywhere looking for a fucking cantaloupe.
I
Yes.
thought we'd run into more people at different places, but
I thought we would, but no.
but the funny part was at the one our showed at the one screening. One of the questions was, how many cantaloupes did you buy? How many candles did you use? So
Right.
we buy 4,
Bought 4, used 2.
used 2.
All right.
So yes, we were off to the races.
Okay. So, and then from Bad Dog, you came back to Chris's home
Yep.
Yeah.
and began to write, I imagine?
Yep.
Yeah, so that was the first time I've ever been sat down with any type of writing process. So I was just watching how Greg had worked, and we were spitballing ideas, and we knew we had the house, Chris Greger's house. We knew we were going to do that, but he came up with this pretty awesome idea to start our film out with somebody shooting a cantaloupe
Yes.
and just having that.
Cantaloupe explode from like a rifle shot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
in slow motion or something cool. You know what I mean? Whatever that was, but he was stuck on that idea, and we're like,
Right.
okay, this is kick ass. Now where do we go shoot this thing?
Yeah.
Right.
Like not shoot it film wise, but where do we go?
That's
fire?
what you call Brock shoots shit all the time.
Right.
Yeah.
So that was just the opening, but then you got to build. Well, how's the guy out there?
Right.
Right. What?
Why?
How does he bring somebody else? Exactly. Exactly. So I was watching him work through this process, and to your credit, because earlier in years we still would have been out there.
Probably.
We would have driven out there and we would have been like,
Probably.
this sucks, you know. But to his credit, he's just like, nope, we got to scrap it. It's not going to work. We've talked about it every way to Sunday, and there's no possible way we can ever get it done.
Well, because it's an hour drive out to your place. So that's 1 hour gone. It's an hour drive back. That's 2 hours gone. It's probably at least 3 hours out there shooting. Probably more like 4. So that's 6 hours out of the day when you need to be editing, because we would have had to have done it on Sunday. That's just gone.
Yeah. For one scene that would have been cool as hell.
Only for a few seconds.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, and some dialogue with 2 guys maybe in a field or something. Who knows?
Yeah.
I mean,
Sure.
Because then you had to get actors out there and make sure they could find the place and they're there on time and blah, blah, blah. It's like, no. Once I started thinking of the logistics of it, like we got to
Yeah.
come up with something else.
right. So we went back to the house idea, and then it was just a matter of how do you build the characters with what we had. So it was like we had 3 main actors. So it's
Which
like
were,
myself,
yeah.
Matt Basler, and
Randy Art.
Randy Art.
Yeah.
So we're the 3 main crux, and then so we had to write 3 characters, and then we basically had to say, well, who's who? Who plays who in this? Well, Matt had a show that he had to go to at from 10 to what time did he leave?
He left
On Saturday
He
night?
left at 4 or 5.
Okay, yeah, but he wouldn't be back till after midnight.
Yeah, because he sings in a band, so
Oh, yeah.
he had a performance.
He's a busy guy, too.
He was going to be playing a show.
Yeah,
He's like, I'll come back. I'm like, okay.
yeah. So you sure? Because this is what we're gonna shoot. I had to go coach my son's baseball game, so I was gone 2 hours.
Been there, I know,
Yep,
I get
on
you.
Saturday, and Art was pretty much free whenever.
Yeah.
But you have to also look at who's the characters. So I think we wrote the one part for Art,
Yes.
the one character in there, and then it was just between who Matt and I are gonna play, and Matt was gone longer than I was, so it was like, okay, Mackie, you're this guy, Matt's this
So-
guy, and
So, how long did it take you actually to write the 7-page or 7-minute film? Because that's what you started on, right?
Yeah.
And I imagine you do a little bit of writing as you go sometimes, but the main part, did you have panned out or
Let's
hammered
see.
out?
We got back to my house around 8,
Yep.
and we immediately we had been discussing story ideas, up until that point, but nothing concrete. Probably took us till midnight?
To really get an outline and a story
Yeah.
to where we thought we had something where now we were fine tuning it, bouncing other ideas. We had to incorporate the cantaloupe.
Yeah.
So we just kept adding more things to it to make it more.
Yeah, because first we had to come up with the outline. Basically, what is the story?
Sure.
Like, you can't, I mean,
Right.
you can do whatever you want, but it is not advisable to just dive into the script. It's like, let's make sure the story makes sense from point A to point B.
That's right.
And we only have 7 minutes to worry about, which is not that bad. So once we got that done, then actually wrote the script, and then once that was done, broke down the shots. We broke it down by scene, which we had like 18 scenes, something like that. And then came up with a very simple shot
We
list.
tried to stick to the shot list too, which I was
Yeah.
really impressed
So
with.
let
too.
me ask you guys this, because you guys have been doing this a while. I know you're new to the production end of it, Mackie, but you've been acting for a very long time. You've been on movie sets for a while. So now you know about how long it takes to shoot one page and how long it takes, what that transfers into film time. So do you think that's helped you over the years, knowing like, okay, gosh, I only got 7 minutes. Okay, I need X, Y, and Z to happen. You almost know exactly how far to fill a page, right?
Yes.
But if this is your first timer, I'm sure there's a bunch of other good films there, though. Did you notice that from newer beginners to where you've seen yourselves and other people?
Absolutely.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's always that's true every year though. You're going to see those folks that start off with the beautiful drone shot, or you could tell where they spent most of their time, and then you could tell either A, where they ran out, or they didn't have the experience, or whatever. But everybody finished, right?
No, there were like 3 or 4 teams which did not finish.
Did they show those films?
No.
Oh, okay. So
They didn't hit the deadline.
okay,
I'd
okay.
imagine.
So
Okay.
I didn't know that because normally they try to do something for them if they have some.
Yeah,
sort of
they
product.
didn't turn in anything from what I understand.
Oh, okay.
All right, so how many scenes did you say?
18.
18 scenes, one location, which is a big deal.
Yep.
That's the best way to go for these type of projects,
Yep.
I'd imagine.
Yes.
And, well, it went pretty quick. It didn't seem like 18 to me when I watched it.
No, it moves pretty quick.
And yeah, I did enjoy it because I never know what to expect when you see shorts,
Yep.
especially 48 hours.
Right.
Because that's run and gun.
Yes.
Just like you're talking about. And it didn't feel like a 48-hour film to me, to be honest. It looked like you had a little bit more time.
No, I was happy with it.
Yeah.
And a lot of that was we got the genre we needed. We had a location that worked perfectly for the genre. And my experience as a shooter, as an editor, was immensely helpful.
That's what I was going to get into next.
Well, and a writer, because just understanding what you need on
Yeah.
a page, because that was
Yeah.
all new to me. Writing, I was throwing.
That's a
out
big
ideas.
deal.
I was brainstorming. I was throwing ideas. He was taking some. He was throwing some aside. But together, we kind of built this script, right?
Yeah.
And that by the time we got to the shot list, that was 3:30, 3:30, something like that.
Something like that.
So that's when I went home, caught some Z's, got back up at 5:30, and was back over your house by 6:30.
Well,
So that was my sleep.
that's commitment.
He tried to go back to sleep, couldn't sleep.
No, I got maybe a half hour's worth
About
of
a
sleep.
half hour. I mean, you tried, but
Yeah.
but you couldn't.
Didn't happen.
But you also had to drag all the equipment up.
Yeah.
I mean, you'd done it like the night before, but you got to think about all that stuff too. You got to set all this crap up.
And we had no crew. We had me, we had Chris Mackey, we had my buddy Ryan Walsh, and my girlfriend,
Yep.
who had never done anything on a film set ever before.
I can't believe she's still with you.
I know. She,
I think she had a good time.
she did. She thought it was fun.
She
That's
had,
good.
She had a good time.
She's
yeah.
a cool person. That's pretty cool.
So that's the part. Right now, we're the experience team. We got the genre we want. We got the pages, the writing part of it. I thought we had a really good story. We're
Yeah,
already thinking,
you
oh,
did,
the
and, you know,
cantaloupe use and all this kind of
So
stuff.
you had Chris writing, and you're helping writing, and you had Chris directing and doing the editing, and I mean that's jobs of 4 people right there, pretty much.
And
right?
cinematographer.
Cinematographer.
Oh, that's the 4th one. I
Right.
guess I missed. And so, other thing I want to point out was the acting. The 3 main actors. I thought you guys did really good. I mean, I don't know about what the other 48 hours look like, but
Some were really good. Some were, what you expect.
Right.
And then we also had Kelly's sister and her husband and their son Oliver.
and they snuck in for a couple hours and
Yeah, they
Yeah.
played the family, and they did a good job.
I thought so too. I thought
Yeah.
they filled a nice little role there that
Yes.
we didn't really consider until we started talking about it. We're like, well, we need this guy's a life coach.
Yeah.
You know, you need to kind of fill that in with something, and that puts a whole new perspective on it
Yeah.
when you get
yeah.
the character in the job.
Yeah, so after you got the script and all the actors and got some help from family members and everything, including Kelly,
Yeah.
you know, you
And her
did,
son.
Yeah.
yeah, you had
Briefly and unwillingly, but he did a good job. He played a key role.
yeah, definitely a key role. The poor kid.
That's all I'll say.
Yeah. The other neat thing I wanted to point out to everybody listening is the location used was your house that
Yeah.
you spoke of earlier, and there's a lot of character in this house on South Broadway.
Yeah, it's 121 years old.
Yeah, and it looks like something you could film a really good horror movie in. There's 3 levels. There's all kinds of angles. Really, lighting is different in every damn room.
Yeah.
You know, just every room's got its own little character to it. And I know you didn't have a whole lot of time to set up different special lighting, but I thought it worked pretty good for what you had. And I bet you could shoot a whole feature in this house.
Yeah.
It really proved a concept
Yeah.
to me that this house could be used for something like at least a longer scenes.
Oh, absolutely.
For a movie shoot. And you're right, Brock. I think the only thing that really, besides not having the crew, is the lighting. Is the setup of the lighting part of it. It was difficult.
Yeah, regular home lighting is pretty harsh on film.
Right. And I learned a ton about it when we got to the editing phase going,
Right.
aha. That's why this is this. That's why they took so much time doing this with no we didn't have any grips. We didn't have any
No, we had my friend Ryan. He was essentially the gaffer and ran sound. And the sound turned out great.
beautiful.
And the lighting was as good as we could expect. For we essentially had 2 lights we were working with.
Yep.
We had I think one 650
Well, and
one 300.
his little funny little Amazon light.
and his little Amazon color change
Well, yeah.
app light.
I mean, if you're just a regular viewer that doesn't know anything about lighting or what other stuff, you're not going to notice it in your film that I'd seen tonight.
Oh.
That there's any, like, oh man, they couldn't set it up or what, you wouldn't know, no one would notice that.
No,
at
it
all.
looks pretty
Yeah, it looks
reasonable.
No, but as a filmmaker,
Oh, yeah, you
and
see stuff.
Understanding that it's just running on that thin of a crew is
No,
not-
I was surprised you got as many shots in as you did. 'Cause all the scenes you said you had.
Yeah.
I mean, you had a couple setups with every scene.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and a drone shot I saw in there, and you had some zooms, some pans, and pretty good
No,
stuff.
it was. I mean, the shot we stuck pretty much to the shot. There's a couple things we threw out because they were just too difficult. Took too much time to kind of walk around.
Yeah, there was a
cow,
gimbal
yeah.
shot that I was trying to do. It was like, I'm just not going to mess with
Well,
it.
it's hard to do a good rack when you're doing everything.
That's true.
So,
But you also you're tired as hell.
Oh, yeah.
So you're not
Yeah.
thinking as straight as you would have.
yeah.
No, I mean I was up for 48 hours straight. So.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's what you.
Yeah. So we shot.
That's what you signed up for, man. But damn, that's tough.
I got back at like 6:30. He was already up working. Cast call was 7 or 7:30 or something like that.
Yeah.
And I didn't go to bed till 9:00 Sunday night. And he edited it to what, 5:36 almost.
Let's see. We wrapped shooting at 2:30 in the morning, so I guess 2:30 a.m. on Sunday
morning.
and I was in the editing chair from 2:30 a.m.
Literally.
until 5:30 p.m.
Yeah.
Oh,
And I was sitting behind him trying to stay awake, just watching the process.
Yep.
Being a cheerleader.
Yeah, I think he needed it.
Yeah.
to tell you
I did.
the truth.
Yeah, I'm
I
sure.
absolutely
Yeah,
did.
I mean, just the little things where you go, man, this should take me 5 minutes.
I
and it's
heard
taking
you
me-
gave great back massages. Is that true?
Find out, Brock.
Okay.
Yeah.
You find out on the next one.
Watch the
I'll have to-
BT.
That's
I'll
right.
have to go
Watch
to
the
the next.
BTS footage.
I'll have to be part of this next 48 hours. That's the
Yeah.
truth.
The only thing that sucked was none of the audio was labeled,
Oh yeah.
which it just took an extra 2 hours just to sort through all that at the beginning.
Yep. I knew what we went into it with.
Yeah.
We would add more people if we could have, but we didn't pursue a ton of people. We didn't
No.
beg a bunch of people to
No.
be on our team. We wanted to do something. Of course, Brock, you were one of the people we wanted to be there, but you had obligations for sure. But we didn't go out and beg and borrow and try to pull a team together like we used to.
No.
I mean, we used to have 30, 40 people on a sets for
Yes.
some of our earlier ones,
Right.
which it shows. But man, if I had that now on what we could do, holy cow, I would love to be able to do that.
Oh, yeah.
And we even talked about combining with some teams next year, right?
Oh, cool.
That may or may not be done with what they're trying to do or what they've accomplished with their teams.
Sure.
So I think that would be fun if we could pull that off.
And that's the other thing. There was another team that were mostly old theater people, because there's another theater group that we used to work with called the Tin Ceiling.
Right. Love those guys.
And it was them and all their kids made a movie.
Awesome. That's
Yeah,
very cool.
That's what they were in it for.
Which was awesome. It turned out really cute. But the funny thing is, they were also the same people who worked on all the old 88 millimeter stuff.
Right.
So it's like there's like 7 people that would have been working on ours
Very true.
if they didn't do their own.
And we're reading their like Facebook posts going, "Hey, I dropped some more food off. You guys need anything?" You know, and we're over here just going, "Kelly, can you go get us a cheeseburger, please?" "Yeah, anything you guys want." And we're just going, "Nobody's dropping food off for us."
I know.
All right, so now we're at the point where you've already shot it, you've edited it, and you're dead tired.
Yes.
And about what time did you go? All right, put a fork in this thing.
5 o'clock, 5:30.
Yeah,
Something like
and
that.
Okay.
to Greg's credit, I watched it and I kept watching it, and it's only 7 minutes, right? So
Right.
it doesn't take long to get through it. And I was asking a lot of questions. You were very just cordial and you were very helping me understand the process, because he's like, "Is there anything else you want to change?" I'd make notes, and he's just like, "I'm just telling you that's going to take 45 minutes to go back in, do this, try to pull it in, or no, we can't do this. We would have had to have done that while we were shooting, but
Yeah.
we don't have time." So that part of the experience was really, and I think around 5:30, you're like, "Do you want to watch it again?" And I'm like, "Nope." He's like, "You done?" It's like, "I'm done." And that was kind of how we ended it, where I felt satisfied to go, if I knew how to do something, I could be quick about it.
Sure.
Maybe I would tinker around with it a little bit, but then again, he would have gone to bed several hours earlier if I knew what I was doing. That was key to me, is just to kind of understand what we left out.
Yep.
Because we couldn't do it. What we could have had if we had more people doing things for us, like an assistant editor,
Sure.
pulling some stuff
Right.
together. Somebody just help that understood lighting.
More hands.
Yeah, somebody that understood lenses or something. That what we pulled off in that short period of time with the limited crew and the valuable, I guess, education I got, that's incredible. It was a credible 48 hours for me.
Well, good. And obviously you got it in on time, and the deadline was what time on Sunday?
7? Yeah.
Yeah.
So we got it in an hour and a half ahead of time.
Yeah.
The only thing that I wasn't happy with, there were a couple of shots I would have liked to cropped in closer, because I thought there was too much headroom. They were too wide, and I would have liked to done a really good color correction pass.
Oh,
but
yeah.
at that point in time, it's like
Couldn't you see straight?
I was so fried and I couldn't think straight. Like I was trying to make credits and I couldn't make the credit roll because I couldn't remember how that worked. So I'm like, all right, I
crawl.
can't.
How's the
I
crawl
know,
work?
Yeah.
My job is I'm going to play and I'm like, "You misspelled that word." "Oh, thanks."
Yeah, it's like I cannot process how to do this right now. So
Right.
it's just going to be just credit. No crawl. We're not doing that.
No, it was static.
So
But
yeah,
it worked for the film.
no, it worked because it was so short because there's like no people involved in it.
That's a true story. Too.
But yeah, I would have liked to done a real decent color pass. But apart from that, I'm pretty happy with it.
All right, and how to get received during the viewing? Because is there a big, how's it work for you to show your 48 hour?
So this year, well, a couple past years, it's been at Galleria 6.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's not on professional
Yeah, it's a theater,
Yeah,
yeah.
in a theater. Man, I guess it was probably 75% full.
Yeah.
If you nobody in the front rows, but most of it was pretty full. Cast, crew, family members of I think there was
Sure.
11 that showed that night. But all those people bringing those people.
So hold on real quick. So after you turn it in, and what's the downtime between after you turn it in and you get to see it and everybody meets up
a
to see?
couple weeks,
Okay, so there's a
week.
little downtime.
A week and a half.
Oh
something like
yeah,
that.
no,
Okay, I got you.
absolutely. They requested a poster from us.
Okay.
That was about it.
Yeah.
And then we already knew what night we were shooting on because we already knew what group we were in.
Okay.
We just didn't know the order.
Okay.
And I wouldn't say this held as true. Usually, the better you are, the later you play. I don't think it was true in ours. I thought they just mixed them up. It's almost random.
In the 2 screenings that I saw 2 groups of the 3. I thought the last film they played in both groups was probably the slickest one,
Okay.
but I don't think they necessarily played the better films last.
So what do you mean by slick?
Higher production value, higher technical
Okay.
proficiency.
That's what I figured. I
Polished,
just-
just
Yeah.
like going to see something at the movie theater, if you want to say that, But generally, that's how they did it. So that's what I was waiting for. But even after ours, there was a few better good ones,
Yeah.
a few that weren't as polished as what we had put through. So I put ours top 3 in our group.
I thought so.
And you say we might have, been top 2 in the other group.
Again, I
C.
think so.
So we knew we were probably top 10, 15 out of the whole competition
Yeah.
if you put everybody together subjectively. So we're pretty proud of it. So I thought it was well received.
Good deal.
I mean, it's strange because you're going from high comedy to ours it was a horror film to
Yeah,
something
you have
else.
everything mixed up, and you got all these other filmmakers and teams. It's probably a pretty good networking opportunity as well. Or not.
I don't-
I
Okay.
thought
don't know.
Friday night was because we ran into some people. Who was those film people you were talking to that did the puppets and all that kind of stuff? Not Jason. No. You ran into some people that I ended up talking to, but I just knew them from Facebook. So I thought Friday night was a better networking thing.
Okay.
Because everybody was waiting around in order to pick their genres and stuff. After that, I mean, you're at a movie theater.
Okay.
So you see who you know, kind
Yeah.
of. But everybody's there with their people.
Okay, so it really wasn't a great event. It was just a location to see the movies.
Pretty much.
Okay.
I mean, you could if you knew some people. I mean, there was a small question and answer afterwards, which I think's nice. I guess I like the way they did it. Everybody got to answer the questions. Nobody really dominated that. But people were pretty much there with their people, and they wanted to celebrate their movies.
There's nothing wrong with that.
No. The one thing I was going to say though is, and this is what I think, when you go see a movie, you usually go see the one movie, and it's what it is, right? If it's a drama, it's a drama. If it's a comedy, it's a comedy. One of the things with the 48s are you could have a very serious movie that follows a very good comedy,
Yes.
and sometimes it's hard for that
No, the
group
transition.
to settle down
Yeah.
before. And I thought maybe that was a little bit of ours. I think there was the movie in front of us. Ours played because they play simultaneously, so ours comes on afterwards. I don't think that crowd was quite settled down yet before ours popped in there.
Yeah, maybe not.
But that's one of the things where you got to kind of see, because if somebody's as good or people are still restless,
Yeah, you're throwing 10 shorts per block. That's 70 minutes, right?
all right,
Yeah.
And there's barely any time in between films.
correct,
Gotcha.
correct. That was the one thing but that's been like that every single year. I just kind of maybe noticed it a little bit this year,
Okay.
a little bit more, because there was a couple really really funny ones.
Yes.
Yeah, there were some people that really did a good job.
So did I know you guys seem to be pretty happy with your film and some of the other ones. I guess there's some awards that you can win or up for. How's that process?
I guess a week after the screening, they announced the nominations for the awards, and they did that throughout the course of a day. And
They really stretched it out, didn't
they did stretch it out. So there's like probably 10 awards you can win. And there's 3 films which are chosen best of city. We were not chosen best of city. Like, I think there were 5 or 6 films that are nominated for best of city, and they'll pick 3 or something like that.
Okay.
But we were nominated for best directing.
That's
so
what we were.
Hats off to Chris Grega.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I thought it was not. I thought there was a couple other awards we could have been up for. I thought we had good writing. I really did. I thought our
thought
story
so.
was good. They do best prop, best use of line,
Sure.
best use of character, and then the typical awards: cinematography, sound,
Right.
actor. But that night, the audience chooses 3 movies, and then somebody wins fan favorite for that night.
Sure.
I thought we got some pretty stiff competition in ours.
we did.
But I thought the film that won was deserving
I thought so
Okay.
too.
of that. So
We have won best audience in the past. Audience choice.
yeah, so kudos to them for putting it up.
That's a big thing.
Yeah, that's what I thought so too. So it's nice, and I was really surprised at the level of talent for these short films from the years I've been going. I don't even
it's-
think when we did the superhero movie, the talent was there. Not like this year.
So, even though it's exhausting and all kinds of and a lot of work and time consuming. Is this something you guys want to do again? And do you guys think you've still learned from these things?
Absolutely, yeah. Because at the end of the day, at the end of a weekend, you have another film. You know, good, bad, or ugly. It's taking you one weekend to have another short film that you can do something with. You can't make any money off it. That much I know. But
Okay.
at least you have another property.
The reason I asked this is because years ago you shot a World War II 48-hour project, right?
We did.
And it was called?
Vous m'aimez.
That's right. And after that, you said, fuck, I can... This one turned out great. I'm going to make a feature, which turned into Rhineland. Right? So I was just leading you to that answer because I hope there's other people out there listening that may want to get in on it, and who knows where it's going to lead you. You know, it's hard, it's grueling, but all filmmaking is hard and grueling. I know we're not pressed for, like, this 48-hour is pretty tough. We shot a movie in 16 days, which we needed probably 30. Red Night at
Yeah.
Skies. So
Just an extended 48 hours
it
there,
is,
buddy.
so it's
Yeah.
really good practice.
It is good
and,
practice.
And yeah, you have more time to prepare for a feature, obviously. But when it comes to crunch time and shoot time, you still only have 24 hours in a day. You only have so much time at a location or so much time an actor is going to give you. So these 40-hour projects, I think they're really beneficial to filmmakers. Even though I wasn't able to do it, I still see the benefits of people doing it. So hopefully more people get in on that.
Yeah, it's a good learning exercise, and the interesting thing about it is you might not get to make the exact movie you want to make, and I think that's good to challenge people. It's like you might end up with romance, and you have no idea how to make a romance film. Well, now you have no choice,
Right.
Yeah.
so figure it out.
That's right. Figure it out. That's cool.
Yeah. So my goal was to go, man, that was pretty good.
Yeah.
Got to do it next year, Brock. You.
It's during the summer it's very hard for me to get away.
I know. But I want you to think about it. that
All right.
You
well,
can only add to the talent pool for us.
okay, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
But being just I could just watch it without not have to worry about anything about me in it, writing and producing,
true.
acting, whatever. So I just got to watch it with fresh eyes, and I was happy with it. I was pretty pleased. You guys should be too. So good job, Chris, getting the best director.
Well,
And-
nominated.
Nominated.
But we'll take, if you take it home, man, that's going
Well-
to be huge.
Yeah.
I think you can fit through the basement door now.
Yeah.
But I'm excited to see us do other projects here in the near future. I know we got some other cool stuff happening pretty soon, but we'll get to that at a later time.
Have to tune into the next episode.
That's right.
Where we talk about
Yes.
what?
The highs
The lows.
and the in-betweens.
Here you go.
True independent filmmaking.
True.
On the Indie Film Sucks podcast, brought to you by 88mm Productions. We're back. We were gone for like a week or whatever.
Yep.
So, it's out there. Seek it out.
Yep.
Tell somebody.
Thanks for tuning in, kids.
Yep. Peace out.
Good night.
Indie film sucks. Indie film sucks. It's the Indie Film Sucks podcast. Yeah.